How to make your customers think you are the leading expert. Hello, it's Monday, it's episode 551 of the Marketing for Owners podcast. It's me, it's John Butt, and I'm still here on a mountain in the snow. Hands cold, gloves are down here, but you can't really kind of podcast and turn it off and do all the iPhone-y stuff with ski gloves on. So I'm going to freeze for 5 minutes or so. For those of you that didn't catch me on Thursday, I am on the top of a mountain at the Sea to Sky gondola. Now, I must point out that we are here blogging on behalf of the Sea to Sky tourist board, gondola tourist boardy people. And so they gave us rides up the gondola and free. I'm standing by the tube park, which is fantastic, where you go down on, pretty much on inner tubes with bottoms on them. They shove you down a slope with little walls on. It goes very fast, they spin you. It's very good fun. And they gave us that as well. Really is good fun. You can go down on your own, or 2 or 3 join together. Oh, it's great. And what was I talking about? Oh yeah, being the leading expert. Okay, so why do you need to be considered as a leading expert? Well, it doesn't matter whether you are a landscape gardener or an accountant or a lawyer or what else can you be? A ski instructor, a hiking guide, anything, a cleaner, a fire extinguisher engineer. If people feel that you are the leading expert or a leading expert, then you will have no problem getting customers, because people want to use the best person for everything. Now, of course, there's going to be an instance where people think the best person may be the most expensive. Pricing is down to the value that people get. If you can convince them you are one of the leading experts, people will pay you more for the same job they'll pay others to do. Yeah, now you start to see why it's a good idea. And to be honest, if someone said to you, say you were hiring a landscape gardener to design your garden, and they said to you, well, what sort of plants do you want? And you said, what would grow well here? And they said, I don't know, what's worked in the past? How would you feel as opposed to if someone said, what you need is a so-and-so tree, a so-and-so bush or whatever, because your soil is acidic and it's got a certain amount of clay? Yeah, the expert, that's the one you want, isn't it? So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So how do you do it? Well, it's easier than you think. People will form an opinion about everything, about anything, about any person, about any company, and they'll form it very, very, very quickly. And they'll form it instantly. And it's pretty much going to be first impression. And once they form that first impression and that opinion, it is going to take a long time to undo it. So let's make it the right one. So first of all, you need to be confident. And you need to remember that you are actually an expert. Now let's just take that landscape gardener. If you started landscape gardening 2 weeks ago, you're not an expert. But if you have been doing it, if you have your own business, you work for yourself, and you've been doing this every day for the last 3 or 4 years, trust me, you are an expert. Now you're going to say, oh, but so-and-so's better than me. We're talking in comparison to your customers. We're not talking in comparison to those. Your customer wants to hire an expert. All right? So they're talking about you. Let's talk in, I don't know anything, basketball terms. Okay, you've got LeBron James and Steph, Curry. So those are the leading experts in the basketball world at the moment. But hey, the other players are pretty darn good too, right? They are still experts. Even the people in the lower divisions are fantastic compared to all us watching. Right? We think they're great. They are pros. All right, don't call yourself an expert. Call yourself a pro. That's what it's all about. So here's the thing. You must give people their opinion of you. Now I say this over and over. It is my favourite John Butt. It is mine, by the way. It is what I've based my entire my entire selling and business career on is you must give people their opinion of you. Let me give you an example of top. If you know, in the UK, for example, we have toasters for making toast, for heating bread. I'm sure everyone else has them. We have one brand called Dualit, and I think they are available. I've seen them in Canada, so I'm sure they're all over the world by now, but they cost way, way more than other toasters. And what do? They toast bread. What do the cheap ones do? They toast bread as well. They all do the same job, but the people at Dualit have made them out of stainless steel. They put the price up and they've told us that the quality is such that they will last longer, they will do a better job, etc., etc. And we believe it. So we pay extra because they told us. Now, it's very important that Dualit products have to stand up to scrutiny. They have to be able to back up what they say. But if they didn't tell us they were brilliant, we just think they're expensive. If they just left it the same and didn't say they were so much better, we wouldn't buy them, would we? It would be just the same as everyone else. How about a Mercedes? I've said this before as a good example. Why do people buy Mercedes instead of just Fords or General Motors or Vauxhalls or Renaults? Because we think Mercedes are great. Now they are, but that's because the adverts have told us they're great. And the same with BMW and the same with Lexus. They all tell us. So they give us our opinion. We believe them, because why wouldn't we? And this is the beautiful thing, is people are naturally trusting. We will believe you. Why shouldn't we? So don't lie, right? I am not encouraging you to lie, but if you have been doing your job for a while, you're an expert. You are a professional. Think of any celebrity you've never met. Why do you think they're good? Why do you think they're a celebrity? Because you see them everywhere. You see pictures of them. You see them on TV. You know nothing about them. You don't know if they're good. You're not there behind the scenes, on films, on cameras, in the music studios, whatever they're doing, whether they're a singer, an actor, actress, whatever. They may be awful. You don't know because it's what you're given, what you're told. And if you're happy, if you then like the music, you like the movies, you like them, great. They might be a real pain in the neck. They might be awful. They might have 10 coaches, a singing coach, they might not be able to remember their lines. Who knows? How about restaurants? You go to a restaurant when it's recommended. The people recommend it, so you believe them. So you go to it. And then generally, if it's good food, great. That's the way. If the people didn't recommend it to you, you wouldn't know it existed. It's the same with your services. You have to tell people you're an expert. Now, don't just say, hey, I'm an expert, but just put it in your literature. Put it as your USPs. Go over in the points. Explain why they should use you and not others. Explain what makes you different. Explain what sets you above. You can even say, in this, you can say, this is the reason why people pay us more than any other company and are still think they get the best value. That instantly tells people that you cost more, your prices are higher, but it instantly tells them that you're worth more and it's worth paying the extra. Yeah, should make sense. Someone just skied past me. I thought there was no skiing here. Oh, it's the Nordic walking type stuff. Oh, and here comes his mate. Cool, they're brave. Wonder where they've been. Anyway, so that's the end of it. This might be the end of my snowy ski trip, but it is time for a book for the week. So I'm just going to quickly give you one from my mate Dave Kerpen. Dave Kerpen writes loads of books, but his book, Likeable Social Media. In fact, any book by Dave Kerpen, that's Kerpen, any book by Dave is great. He is one of the best social media people. He's a LinkedIn influencer. Look up anything he does. He knows his stuff. Lovely guy. But Likeable Social Media is like a free course. Remember last Thursday I was saying you should make it a habit to learn. If you want to learn social media and how to do it and how to apply it, that book on its own will explain how to use it for a business, and it will make you think, aha, not just how to sign up for Twitter and everything, but how to use it. Anyway, enough of that. Unless you go read it, you'll never experience it, so I'm not going to tell you anymore. Have a lovely day. I'll be back with another great tip tomorrow, hopefully in somewhere a bit warmer. Bye for now.